May 11, 2017, Travels with Phil continues. This is the Birch Coulee Battlefield site. This is part of the 1862 US-Dakota War. And this is the biggest military engagement involved in the war. Soldiers were sent out from Fort Ridgely to bury some of the folks who were killed in the earlier part of the uprising in August. This was September 2nd. The Dakota saw them coming, the soldiers coming through this area, and they managed to keep track of them for quite a while. Well, they camped right here in this spot where I'm at right now. Now, the white posts you see out here, well, these are where people were located. So way out there, that was the Dakota position. You might be able to see the one over here against the trees. That's where Birch Coulee is. A coulee, by the way, is a very narrow but deep ravine. May have water in it, may not have water in it. Other spots you can see over there near the telephone pole or tower over there, there's a little white one. It's another spot where the Dakotas were at. And basically this was not a very good position for the Army to be in. There were two commanders here, one by the name of Anderson, one by the name of Grant. And no, this wasn't Ulysses Grant, it's just another guy named Grant. Grant picked a spot, which is actually not a bad spot just to camp, but it's not very good for defensive purposes because you don't have direct access to the water. The coulee is an excellent place to hide and shoot from, and in fact, several little hills out here, the one that you see in the far distance over there, they're just enough of a rise out there that you can hide behind them. Now, this was also very heavily grown over with tall grasses, so it's easy for the Dakotas to be able to stand or lay down out here and circle them. The battle went on for about 36 hours. Between 20 and 30 soldiers were killed. Just two Dakota warriors were killed. You can see down here, these little spots here. It says, stand in the footsteps and look for white posts marking locations of the Dakota soldiers. So Mankato, for whom the town was named, he was located over there. This is Danaka was over there. Now, in that spot over there, they were so comfortable in their positions, the Dakota warriors were, that literally at one point the women came up, set up campfires on the far side of it, and cooked meals for the Dakotas. Now, the soldiers here, they were completely surrounded. All of their horses, about 90 of them, were killed fairly soon in the very early part of the fighting. And they had very little water. They had some crackers and a little bit of cabbage. And basically, they had real issues here trying to survive. Again, this is not a very good spot to pick because you're completely surrounded by either slightly higher elevations or by the ravine over there on the other side. Well, the only thing that saved them after about 36 hours was the relief coming up from Fort Ridgely, and they brought some artillery with them. And when the Dakotas saw that, they they actually intercepted part of the early part of the leaded elements of the relief column, slowed them down for a couple hours, and then the rest of the Dakotas were able to pick up and clear the scene. But this happened on September 2nd, which means it was a week or two after or maybe 10 days after the initial flare-up. And about 2 weeks after the initial flare-up. And again, this was the worst defeat for the military involved in the US-Dakota War of 1862. Travels with Phil from Birch Coulee in Minnesota. Back to you.